Hey guys, Travel Rockstar here. I just wanted to share with everybody that is thinking about adding on a battery pack to their solar panel system. If you've got an e-bike and you want to make a long distance traveler, you're going to need to add some batteries either somewhere on the bike, if it's a trike, somewhere underneath the back seat, or like in my situation, they're actually in my little Travel Rockstar. So I want to show everybody that's interested in doing this basically the principles of how solar panels work and how you would be able to flow power into your e-bike so you don't damage it, and the right way to do it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, basically these are four 12-volt batteries that are lithium, and you could put batteries in series or in parallel, and we can get into that in another video. But if you can put them all one way, you'll get a more powerful 12 volt, or if you put them another way, you'll be able to put them and double up the voltage from 12 to 24 to 36 to 48 volt. Now my e-bike is a 48 volt system, so what I needed to do was to come up with a lightweight system that I could install. And now I could have just got one battery that was a 48 volt. Now the reason why I got four of them, I'll go into much detail in other videos, but the batteries are going to stay charged better and recharge faster because the load is spread out between four different batteries than just one battery. And you can go into argument on the theory behind that, but again, this is how I've set mine up. So when you put these in parallel or in series, these are in series, so it's now a 48 volt system. So that means that this little connector right here is my 48 volts. So where I unplug my battery pack for my trike, I'm now able to put the positive on the one side and the negative on the other, and I now have battery power, and I've bypassed my battery on my trike. This way I can use these batteries and the solar panel to go unlimited range during the day, and then once these have exhausted their power, I could disconnect this, put the battery in, and go another 50-60 miles, and then while I'm at night I could then start my recharge process by either going to a local Starbucks or just waiting for the morning. In a couple hours these batteries are charged up again. So here is the charge controller. This below me is a 300 watt DC to AC converter, so it converts the DC to AC. Now I have a little garden battery that I've been using prior, and that's going to be coming out, and I've just got it left in here because I'm doing a few things. These controllers, once the battery's hooked up, you could use the USB for charging, and you don't have to hook up additional what you call a DC to AC converter. You can run, to just charge your batteries when you want to charge different devices or biggers. You would then plug this in to the batteries and off you go. So that's just conveniently there. So now that we've covered basically the 48 volt system, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys basically how we have to set up the solar panels. Now I'm just going to go ahead and walk around. I was going to basically you could see the solar panels. Okay, here are the solar panels, and you could put the solar panels in series or in parallel. Now, when you do them one way, you're going to get a certain voltage. When you do them another way, you're going to get another voltage. Okay, so now with these two solar panels, they are in parallel. So that means that they're both putting out approximately 25 volts of power versus so many amps. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I would take these connections here and I would switch them, and I'm going to be doing this right now. They're set up for my 12 volt system. I'm now getting and bumping up to a 48 volt system so I can run my three-wheel trike. So in order to do that, I need to then now change these from putting out a constant 24 or 25 volts that I'm going to split them, and now it's going to double to go to 50 volts. Now it's not going to put out as much amps as them at 12 volts, but ultimately I still will get the same amount of power. It's just the power is distributed a little bit different. So now you guys understand how you have to have in general solar panels to set up in series with your batteries, because you can't have one without the other. As an example, this is 48 volts. If I left them only at 25 volts, these solar panels will not charge this battery bank. So I have to get up over 50 volts to get these batteries to charge. So with that said, if you have any comments about how to set up a solar panel system, I'll be setting these up and selling these in the future. If you have a custom build that you'd like me to build out for you, I am going to be putting these on. Basically, they are the little small bike kits that attach to a bike that you can put a little doggy in, or you could end up putting in a whatever you want. But you basically, you're going to take it off and put a flat piece of wood. You will then put your solar panels right on that little towing kit. So that way you can take any solar panel setup and then convert your electric e-bike to an unlimited range bike during the day by just setting up your own solar panels. But remember, you have to match your power versus your controller versus the power that is required for whatever you're powering. Now you might have a 36 volt e-bike, so you would then need to configure a 36 volt setup. If you have a 24 volt setup, you would then have to make sure that your solar panels are putting out just above 24 volts, which this is why it's set up to do that. And if you're going to go higher than 48 volts, then again you have to be able to accommodate that versus your solar panel. To make sure your solar panels are putting out more than 48 volts, you have to make sure your charge controller can handle 48 volts, and then it can convert that into charging your lithium batteries, whether if it's one battery or it's a series of batteries. This would indicate a large battery bank of hundreds of batteries. And again, the reason why I split this up is because when the power is flowing from these solar panels into the charge controller and into the batteries, this cable are riding on top. So meaning the power that comes out that comes through the solar panel is going to come through these wires first. So as long as I'm putting a draw on these, the power won't even really, if I draw too much power, it's going to draw everything from the solar panels as well as some from the batteries, and it will slowly drain out. The minute that I stop using more power than what's being drawn, the batteries will float back up to the top. So this is kind of an experiment. We'll see how far we go along, but I thought I would take this time and make this video because in the end I'll be making a full-on build video. This video will be included into it. And again, I appreciate you guys watching, because remember, this is the Travel Rockstar. We're getting ready to travel around the whole entire world with this, as well as my new e-bike, which I'll be premiering, or it's probably already been premiered if you've already watched this video. But again, this is how you set up a solar panel system to make sure you have enough output to handle your charge controller that's going to have enough power to charge whatever battery bank setup you have set up, a 12 volt, 24 volt, 36 volt, or 48 volt. Again, if you like this video and you think it's informative, why don't you do me a favor and hit a like and subscribe, and that'll tell the YouTube algorithm that this is a cool video and it's informative and people can learn from this and benefit from this and get off gasoline. Then yeah, it's all worth it. God bless you guys. Take care.